All right, what is going on, Banter fam? Welcome into today's edition, Monday's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we are going to be digging into the crypto gaming markets, and as well, we will be taking a look into what I think could be a really big trend, not only across crypto or NFTs, more across an actual industry, which would actually be the music industry, because I do think that whenever you look at the narrative shift here, where artists could have the empowerment of actually making the majority of the revenue from their songs and their streaming capabilities, whereas now they're being handcuffed by record labels in the current centralized music scene. We'll kind of talk about where things could shift, why music NFTs could be a big trend here in the future. And we'll also take a look, obviously, at some news across the space, as well as Elio finally giving us a little bit to nibble on, right, with the Impostors drop. We have a little bit of a teaser for Impostors, the Among Us social elimination style game. So without further ado, let's get in the game.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know we gon' play, but ain't a percent. If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know we gon' play, but ain't here to play. If you get lost, show you the way.
All right, let's get right into it. And we talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago, where Metaverse real estate sales were heading, right? And people are talking about this being about an $8 trillion industry right now, and that's the Metaverse industry. And we're talking about the real estate industry right now is at about a $9 trillion evaluation. So when you take a look at the comparison there, some people predict the Metaverse industry to get where the current real estate market is, which is crazy. But you see here that Metaverse real estate sales hit 500 million in 2021 and are expected to hit $1 billion in 2022, which is absolutely insane, right? And I know that I've contributed to that $1 billion. I know most people out there potentially watching the show maybe have some sort of land in some sort of metaverse or game or some sort of economy, or maybe some Sandbox or something of that sorts. But, Metaverse land is really picking up steam, right? And as far as $1 billion in land sales this year projected, we're definitely trending upwards. And I would definitely still say we're early, right? The real estate industry pulls in much, much more than just 1 billion, right? So we're very early on Metaverse real estate. So if you're kind of stacking up your land plots, if you're stacking up your real estate in certain places in the Metaverse, then I think you're kind of looking in the right direction here, because if you look across in the big purchases, that's smart money, that's corporations, all those big land purchases that you see, the multi-million-dollar purchases, or just like the huge plots of land in Sandbox. Most of the time, those are institutions or corporations of some sort buying up those land plots. So good to see. And, speaking of, obviously, 18,000 partners and landowners in the Sandbox, for example, where you have Pegaxy, Snoop Dogg, Warner Music, and more on board. And as you take a look here, you see The Walking Dead, CyberCongs, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Yield Guild Games, Adidas, CoinMarketCap, Atari. There's so many brands. There's so many different projects across the board that are really getting involved. And I don't think that this is a fad. I don't think that this is a flash in the pan. This is the future, right? You have Snoop Dogg, of course. We'll be talking plenty of Snoop Dogg this edition because he's heavily involved in one of the, to put it correctly, Snoop would want me to term him this way. The OG Snoop Dogg is really setting the trend and is becoming the OG in the Metaverse music space, because he's got his Sandbox deal. Now he's got his Gala Games deal, which we'll talk about in this edition. But, he's really setting the trend here. So I love what we're seeing here from the Metaverses across the board. So great to see from the land projections and from the Sandbox. Another interesting topic. South Korea seems to be going really all in on Metaverse. Samsung creates in the Metaverse. And as we see today as well, Samsung to offer NFTs to pre-order customers in South Korea. So we see that development as well. So that's interesting to see. Government sets a 5-year Metaverse plan. So not only are businesses like Samsung getting involved, but you have the government setting a 5-year Metaverse plan. So the government's getting involved. Their largest mobile gaming firm, which we addressed last week, was getting involved in the Metaverse, as well as a big wealth fund, over 200 billion, invests into the Metaverse. So pretty cool to see the adoption widespread, of course, across the board that we're seeing from the Metaverse. Even, the key pivotal point here is the government, right? The fact that government attention is shifting towards the Metaverse. We see this over in Saudi Arabia too. We talked about Saudi Arabia last week, right? Where they were actually going to invest $1 billion into the Metaverse. So really interesting to see that government attention is actually shifting towards the Metaverse. And this is awesome to see as well, guys. We obviously love Pegaxy. We've been really, in at the right time on this economy. And, this economy's just been amazing. And the game's great. They really have fantastic updates. They had their 3D game just come out, guys. And this is the next development right here. And this is the mobile application. So this will be on iOS. This will be on Android. So this is when you boot up on your phone, you click start, loads up, and then you actually have the app interface here, right? So these games aren't done building. These games are not done building. You're actually going to be able to have your mobile app at the top here. We'll pause it. So you have the marketplace down here, renting, breeding, your garage where you could see all of your horses. And then you'll be able to see your locked VIS, your unlocked VIS, as well as your Pegaxy tokens. You can see your full wallet here, any notifications, and then obviously you can hit the play button here and start racing. And I think it looks awesome, right? And it'll be super cool when you can start racing your Pegas on your phone, right? I think that'll just be amazing. So it shows the wallet interface there if you just fast or rewind there. So you'll be able to see all of your different tokens from all of the Pegaxy ecosystem, as well as your stable coins and your Polygon. So really looks good. It really looks good. And I want to address, because some people, the VIS token price dropped a lot after the event yesterday. They did their Valentine's breeding event. And you have to remember that a lot of people stacked up that token, right? They stacked up that token in anticipation for the event. So whenever it sold out so quickly, a lot of people ended up selling off their VIS for profits or into something different, or maybe they just went and bred on their own. Whatever the case was, a lot of people didn't get the Valentine's tickets because they sold out very quickly, for example. So, that's part of the reason why when you look at the VIS token, it's kind of been taking a dip, right? Got up to 24 cents, really has hit a little bit of a dip here. There was a little bit of an unlock, I believe, along with obviously some sell pressure. So I'm in this for the long term, right? As long as this economy is active and stable, paying a good amount, because at this point, my horses are in profit, right? So you got to scale up. You got to weigh how much you put in, how much are you making off of it. When you're paid off, you can weigh your risk reward. But in my opinion, these dips are nothing to be concerned about. This is an economy that is pumping. This is an economy that is churning out volume, right? And even with this recent event, right, a lot of people were stacking up their VIS trying to get these tickets. The burn rate is still at a healthy 82% burn rate. There was just a lot of sell pressure this week after the event. I don't think it's anything to fret about, for example. In another economy, these play-to-earn economies are volatile, guys. These play-to-earn economies are volatile. So in the short term, you really can't, I would never base your decisions on something short-term going on in an economy. For example, the Crabada Floors were just $4,000 last week. Now the floors are $2,700. It's like, well, why are the floors dropping? I don't really know why the floor is dropping, right? Well, it's not really something to worry about, because I've been saying this, they're changing the meta of the game, which means the best crabs, like the best teams, they're changing. So that's why there's a lot of uncertainty in the air until tomorrow on the 15th of February, when they actually make the changes for the game, where there will actually be a new batch of crabs, different types of crabs that are actually good in the economy. Because right now it's dominated by one class. So yes, there will be fluctuations in the game economies that you are participating in. But if you believe in the economies, and the economies are strong, showing those indicators of growth, you can check apps like DApp Radar to try to see the on-chain data. And we see the users just continuously grow on games like Crabada and Pegaxy. So if you're in these games and you believe in them, I don't think that these short-term fluctuations are really anything you need to worry about. And I did want to point this out because shout out to Jamie for coming on from Vulcan Forge on Friday. And he did give us a little alpha drop. He said he did mention that, they have some upcoming partnerships that'll kind of blow people's minds. A little out of the ordinary, he said, for their project. And he kind of teases it here. Vulcan was never a fashionable god. Fashionable keyword, right? But the new Elysium partners are going to force him to step his game up. So they're kind of teasing a fashion partnership, guys. I think that's super exciting as far as Vulcan Forge to see what they have up their sleeves. And also, we were talking about on Friday their new little temple run style game, and it is actually active and live right now. And I actually went in there and tested it out this morning, and we kind of just see what it's about. You start off slow, level 1. You're kind of going super slow because the game heats up down the line. You start picking up speed as you do more levels. As you see my guys speeding up there. And this is a game that you can easily pick up and play. So like these Vulcan Forge ecosystem games, like a card game, an MMO RPG style game, like Vulcanverse. And then you have games that they're also helping with development. They have the Hustleverse. They're helping out with Sin City Metaverse. They're also in on projects such as Chumby Valley. Their blockchain is going to be operating all these different games. So really quality here. And I know for a fact that myself, I played Temple Run on my phone, right? I 100% when I was a kid in middle school or high school, I was playing Temple Run. I definitely remember getting on there on my phone and playing that app. So this game is now live in their Discord. So I can't wait for when play to earn mechanics are fully operable inside of that game. Now let's get into the main topic of the channel or of the show today. The main topic of the show today, and that is the music NFT trend, right, guys? So we saw last night, obviously, Snoop killed the halftime show. In my opinion, probably the best halftime show I've ever seen, right? I mean, we had Snoop, Eminem, Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar, 50 Cent came from the roof. I mean, that was amazing. And we have Mary J. Blige. Just absolutely amazing show. And you just take a look at what Snoop is doing for the space, right? So we all know the Sandbox partnership. Snoop absolutely killed the show. Thank you for a beautiful night, as we see. But another thing, too, he's one of those guys that is just pushing the narrative forward. You take a look at his neck here, too. That chain right there says FaZe Clan. And if you are aware, in gaming, you will know that FaZe Clan is like the biggest esports cultural organization in the world. He's literally rocking a FaZe Clan chain along with his Death Row chain here. So pretty cool to see that Snoop is just continuously pushing that narrative. But let's go back to the Gala event that kind of kicked off their Gala music. So now Gala has gone from just having Gala games. They put a ton of money. They put a ton of money into their leg for NFT development, which included entertainment and music NFTs. Well, they were out at the forum in LA, as you see the detail on the outside of the forum here with the Gala logo. And then also we take a look at the inside of the event. This is kind of a preparations video. It looks like they have like a nice little bar area inside for the event. Looked pretty nice. And as far as people that came out, I know that Steve Aoki was out there. I do think he did a speech and potentially a little bit of a performance. And we all know that the first major partnership that Gala Music did strike was with Snoop Dogg. And this was kind of one of the stages. Looked pretty sick. And Gala knows how to put on a show, that's for sure. Gala with their Into the Galaverse event, they did really well with that. And Gala definitely knows how to put on a show. And you take a look, this is the new platform. So Gala Music, setting music free on the blockchain. So Gala is changing the music industry forever, the way that they are launching a decentralized world and inviting pioneering artists from every genre to and their fans to join us. So what is their plan? They're going to empower artists where they have creative control and the freedom to mint, drop, and distribute their music any way and how they want. And then also established artists will be able to support emerging musicians and new talent. And then also the fans who own the NFTs of these musics and different tracks, different albums, stuff like that. They'll be able to collect music NFTs, listen to earn, and share in the success of musicians they love through revenue and rewards. So as mentioned, in the traditional space of music, right, the record label takes a lot of the profits. And there's a part of the deal where, you know, artists aren't getting the whole slice of the pie, right, for their work, where the record label is getting a healthy portion of that. So where actually they could build in a royalty system for the people who truly support the music, right? So instead of having the profits taken from them, right, from the top, they can actually distribute some of the rewards with their fan base and the people listening to the music, or the people who own a track. You can actually earn off of that, right? So you actually give the artist that power to not only bring back power to their own earning potential, but they can distribute it to the people who actually support them, which I think is super cool. And the first drop, as I mentioned with Gala Music, is Snoop Dogg. They did, I think it's 3 to 4 different tracks that Gala Music has rights on, because it's a 17-track album. But I think the initial drop they have here is only a couple of the tracks. So each stash box contains one of 17 tracks from his new album. These music NFTs are your access to a super fan club. They unlock rewards, future drops from the Dogfather, in-game utility, and the ability to listen and earn rewards, which is what it is all about. And as you see here, be a part of the new decentralized world for music. So how can you get involved, right? So they did just release their Gala Music nodes. And if you're in the gaming space, in the DeFi space, anything like that, you know how successful Gala nodes were up front, right? The initial Gala gaming nodes, everyone that I've ever spoke to that got a Gala gaming node, they said, this is like one of my best investments I ever made, yada, yada. And the price now will reflect it. I think they're like $80,000 or something of the sorts. So anyone who got a Gala gaming node definitely made off like a bandit at the end of the day. And now they have these Gala music nodes where you can have real ownership, real exclusives, and real rewards with a Gala music node. So let's take a look at the player nodes here. So nodes power Gala music. So the music network is supported by music fans like you who operate a simple node software license from their home computers. You run a node, you collect, and you earn. So it makes you a pioneer where you're not just a part of the network, but you're literally powering it. So your license of your node is helping power the ecosystem. When you contribute by keeping your music node online, you are rewarded. So the steps here would be purchase a license to operate a node. Same thing with the original nodes. And I think the starting price for a node right now is about 1,200 USD, so 1,200 USD. Node's software is quick to set up and simple to run, and you can pair music NFTs with your music node to earn. So it's definitely an interesting opportunity, right? So you can play, you can pair, and you can earn off of listening to earn through the economy. So fans who are listening to certain songs that you pair with your node, you will be rewarded through that. So there's a big frequently asked questions page here. And I think that it's definitely got a lot of good information. But this is something that I think that you should definitely at least take a look into, do your own research. I picked me up a Gala music node because based off the success of the Gala games node. Faith, yeah, exactly. Bought nodes when they were $1,000 and now they're $93,000. And this is no guarantee that this would ever do the same, right? But it's something that I missed. I did not get a Gala games node. So it was like, I am not missing this. So I went ahead and I got involved there. But yeah, I know every single person that I've ever talked to that got in on the initial Gala nodes said that it was one of the best investments they've made. And as you see here, as I mentioned, the Snoop Dog Stash Box, they're also bringing Snoop's assets across the ecosystem. So as you see here, Snoop Dogg has arrived to Townstar. So their farming simulation game Townstar, they now have these Snoop Dogg assets as well. You go ahead and take a look in the spider tanks. They have certain tanks with the Snoop Dogg theme. I absolutely love it. So Gala's so good at this, right? Interoperability. They brought them to the music platform. They brought out ownership for a song. They're bringing out full-blown music ecosystem ownership through the Node software and through the Node economy. But on top of that, they're just bringing it to existing games, right? They're bringing Snoop into Townstar. They're bringing Snoop into Spider Tanks, right? They're so brilliant on the interoperability and crossing over these worlds. So I absolutely love it. And they're pushing forward the narrative of music ownership. And then just look at the artist side. As fans, I would love to earn off of a Snoop Dogg song, right? I would love to earn off of a Drake song or something like that. If you are into music or NFTs, Tory Lanez says that he sold 1 million copies of his NFT album in under 1 minute. And I think he sold it for $1 or $2. I think that's literally basically what he did. He sold it for $1 or $2. So he made a few $1,000,000, or like that's what he said in an interview. I believe that was the case. Don't quote me on that. But 57 seconds. He said, yeah, I just sold the equivalent units at $1. So 1 million copies at $1. So basically made $1 million in 1 minute. And that is empowerment to the artist. But at the same time, if there was a built-in reward system, there's actually a way for the fans and the listeners of the album to earn on the back end. And that's what these projects like Gala and a couple that we will cover here actually empower, right? And if you see like Drake, he would make about 50 million from an NFT series, according to Tory Lanez, who just made $1 million in 1 minute. So, that's crazy. That is crazy. So if Drake did this, he's at the top of the game. So this is like probably top tier, right? Him or like Eminem or J. Cole. As far as the rap game goes, like Drake would probably be the top level of like an NFT, right? He could make $50 million off of an NFT series. And so that's just on the artist side, right? That's just on the artist side. If they gave back reward systems to their fans, it could really change the way that music is done. It could take the record labels off the table, which could really, really change things. So I want to talk about a couple of projects that are not Gala nodes, right? So other than buying a Snoop track on their website on Gala or buying a node, you can also take a look and start researching some of the music projects out there. So there's music NFT projects and music services that definitely should be on your watch list for the future. One of them is Opulous. OPUL is the ticker, OPUL. And as you see here, one of their primary features is exactly what we were just talking about, where you mint and sell lucrative music NFTs. You create a brand new revenue stream for the artists via the NFT world, right? Because they don't have exposure to this. They just have the stream revenue through like a Spotify or an Apple Music, for example. Earn royalties from copyright shares. So you, as the owner of the NFT, actually earn royalties from the copyright shares. So what's another? And the market cap here is pretty healthy. 30 million, 300 million fully diluted, but that's really not a lot when you look at the music industry and the projects that can move over to the space. One that doesn't even have a token yet is Royal. Invests in artists and own your favorite music. It is the exact same concept, except right now they just did their drop with Nas. Nas is a legendary rapper, and right now they just recently did their Nas drops, which both sold out. And I can tell you firsthand, I tried to get one of these when they did. It was like a few weeks ago, and the website crashed. I couldn't get my hands on it, so I missed out on the Nas drop. But Royal is one of those projects where the artists sell, the collectors buy, and both rise, right? The artists make their money and collectors make their money. So the owners earn the royalties. This show here, the key word is royalties, right? Because it's what they sacrifice these artists sacrifice a lot with their record deals in traditional music. So what Snoop is doing, moving to Gala music potentially, it could really just set a trend to actually break artists free from that trend of signing with a record label. And there's been a lot of successful independent artists out there in the past who never sign with a record label and just do their own thing because you don't have to sign parts of your profits away to a centralized entity if you have the talent. So I think that you'll start to see these bigger artists eventually take the record label off the table, especially if they are signed with bigger labels. And then I can't go without mentioning Audius. This is a little different, right? It's a streaming service for music, but it is a music-based project. So basically, this would be like the SoundCloud, so to speak, of the blockchain. So this is like the decentralized SoundCloud right now, where you could release your music here in a decentralized fashion. And it's a very solid platform, very established platform, Audius. And as you see here, it's about $1 billion fully diluted, $600 million market cap. So those would be my 3 music crypto projects to watch. Put those 3 on your watch list because these could really majorly trend up if we start to see big artists moving into the space. And I actually think that, Snoop is a big artist, right? He's setting the trend. I mean, he is a legitimate, as I said earlier in the show, he is an OG in the rap game. He is a trendsetter. We saw it yesterday. He killed the halftime show. Like, it was amazing. So a guy like Snoop willing to put his neck out there and move to the decentralized world could really set a tone, right? And then a couple things really quickly before we get to the end of the show here. We saw Superfarm. We'll pivot drastically. Music NFTs will definitely be more of a topic on the show going forward, but keep your eye on that niche because I think there's so much growth potential on every end, right? On our end as listeners and owners and on the artist end. So I think it's just all around decentralization and music is just a fit. And NFTs are the software or the technology that is going to make it happen. And then taking a look at Superfarm, we finally see some news here on Impostors. We have been waiting ages, it feels like, to see Elio and Superfarm's Impostors, the social elimination game, which is functioning basically as their own Among Us, right? So Among Us was huge. And if you don't know what Among Us was, it was the social elimination game that back in 2020, late 2020, really took over the social space. And as you see here, so everyone's kind of doing their thing. And when you're red, you're highlighted red here, you are the imposter. So you're trying to catch people alone, right? So he has the merchant here alone. This poor guy gets killed, right? No one saw, so they have no idea that he's the imposter. So you kill off people in the lobby and you try to catch people off guard while they're doing tasks. Super fun game. And while you're doing this, you're in a group. You're in a group of people. So it's fun. You're talking to people like, oh, I saw this guy kill this person. And you kind of, it's a battle of taking someone's word, but also having evidence on someone. It's super fun, especially like you can be literally playing with your friends. You could be playing a drinking game within that game. And if you take a look here, most players are between the ages of 14 to 30. So there's a big gap here. Like, that's huge. A lot of different players loved this game. I just remember the Twitch wave too. Twitch was so hot, like millions of viewers watching Among Us. And at the end of September 2020, the game reached 3.8 million concurrent players. So this is the blockchain version of Among Us is what they are going for. And they've even termed it as so. As you'll see here, follow this account, but don't trust anything they say. Something sus is going on for sure. And the key word in this game was sus. So I love it. It's literally going to be the blockchain version of it. It could have so much adoption, and the characters look solid. So I definitely love what we're seeing here. And as we see in what the gameplay I just showed you, you see the knife here. It plays right into that Among Us feel. This is going to be a hit. I can't wait to get in here. We could do some Banter fam imposters. I think that'd be super fun. Try to figure out who the imposter is whenever this game does launch. And then last but not least, let's do a little bit of a giveaway. So we'll do giveaways throughout the week, guys. So what we will do right now we will give away 3 Seedify mystery boxes, 3 Seedify mystery boxes of IGO allocations to CyberTrade. CyberTrade is an open world MMORPG, futuristic. It's basically the cyberpunk of the blockchain. So what we'll do, we will give away 3 allocations here. And we have pretty solid allocations. So we will give away 3 allocations of CyberTrade at $500 each. So let's see here in the chat right now who we can pick and see who really wants to take home a couple of IGO bags, courtesy of our official sponsor of In the Game, Seedify Mystery Box. Let's say DGen Deb. Yes, please. Virtual hug. I love that. I'll give you a virtual hug back. DGen Deb, email giveaways at cryptobanter.com and we will get you set up there. I absolutely love the virtual hug. Crypto Girl 177. Nice. You guys are awesome. We will include you in the winners for the day. So Crypto Girl 177, email giveaways at cryptobanter.com. And one more, let's see here for the day. Robert Medina. Vamos. I love it. Robert, email giveaways at cryptobanter.com. You 3 win $500 of CyberTrade at IGO allocation price. And we will have 3 more to give away throughout the week. And we have some NFT giveaways as well to give away throughout the week. So we got the 3 winners. Email giveaways at cryptobanter.com. Verify it is you, and we will get you taken care of. But otherwise, we have big shows lined up throughout the week, guys, and I'm super excited. I think we might have another guest join us later in the week, kind of like Jamie from Vulcan Forge late last week. And I have a ton of alpha to drop this week. There's a couple of projects, right? So right now we're pretty established in Pegaxy. We're building up in games like Crabada. We got these DeFi kingdom farms churning. We got different things going, like different nodes. We just got our music node, waiting for that to get set up. Planting seeds across NFT space and across these passive games and these economies that are really lucrative. So what's around the corner, right? And I have a couple of projects that, in my opinion, right around the corner could be those next games, those next economies to actually come in and be that next place to shift your profits into. Once you're in the money from these play to earn economies, where should you look next? We'll get into that throughout the week and more. But without further ado, I'm going to get out of here. Like the video if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to the channel for more crypto gaming information and alpha every single day here on In the Game. I am your host, Hustle. I'll be back tomorrow. Till then, play well, my friends.